me.
Wanna fight about it?
Fight.
Wanna fight about it?
What is up, fam? We are back for another episode of the Wanna Fight About It podcast here on the Fantasy Sports Corporation TSS Radio. And I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rochelle. I got a fun one for you this evening. We're going to be talking to UFC veteran, the man himself, Mr. International Shonie Carter. We're also going to be joining in the second part of the show by BKFC featherweight, Mr. Louie Lopez, who is 1 week away from challenging for that BKFC featherweight title. But with that being said, our first guest is in the back. You know how we kind of start this things off, my friends. Let's get to it.
Fighting out of the red corner.
That's a good call. Hey, $1 billion. I think it's been $1 billion.
That gatekeeper with the keys to the gate and I'm standing in front of the gate like, hello, I'm the next level.
They call him Mr. International, but he can also be called Mr. Entertainment.
The IFC cage.
Mr. International, Shonie Carter.
All right, and he is here, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. International Shonie Carter. Shonie, really appreciate the time this evening, my friend. I know you're fine tuning some machines over there, but appreciate the time this evening, my friend.
It is definitely my pleasure, and thank you for allowing me to be graced to have your presence be felt by me.
Man, you're definitely one of my faves, man. You know, you're kind of obviously internationally known in some aspects, but you know, you kind of, it was in the clip there. You kind of put yourself in the map of being the first UFC fighter to land, knockout, hit that spinning back fist that you hit on Matt Serra all them years ago. Is that like one of your favorite moments still in your professional career, or maybe just in UFC?
Maybe in UFC, because I actually have a savoring for throwing people more than I do spinning slap people. And literally, like right this very minute, while talking with you, I'm teaching judo. I have multiple black belts. And literally, it's fun for me to teach judo and Greco-Roman wrestling. Hope I didn't lose you.
It's one of those special skills you got to have in MMA, at least in the current state, correct? I mean, judo's kind of really taken over. What top level MMA is right now? Am I wrong?
Yeah, everybody's all they do is shoot double legs, and we all seeing people get torn up with a knee to the face or a shin to the neck or an uppercut, or you get stuck in the bottom versus ending a fight. Or, I mean, think about it. Put it like this. Let's talk basketball. We know the season's over. Let's talk about it. There's a layup.
Yeah, unless unless Jokie's gonna run away with it, it ain't over just yet, my friend.
Right. I mean, think about this. You have a layup and a slam dunk. Do you ever see highlight reels of layups? But you do see highlight reels of slam dunks. They both worth 2 points. And I'd rather have a chance at making a point versus scoring a point. If I can hit you with a spinning back fist, or if I can throw you, and I have knocked people unconscious with throwing them. I actually knocked out Ken Shamrock's biological brother, Robbie Kilpatrick, with a throw called Osotogari, which is a major outer reap.
I mean, that's what Ronda technically got Alexa Davis with when she threw her. She knocked her out with the slam.
Right.
Everything after that was rudimentary. It was just the referee running over to stop it because the slam knocked her out.
Exactly. So that's why I'm here at Chicago Fitness Center. I teach. It's at obviously Chicago, 3131 North Lincoln. Shameless plug. Sometimes I'll teach
It's
over
never
at.
shameless, my friend. You got to let the people know where to find you.
Yeah, I'm at Chicago MMA at 1546 North Halstead. I teach at MMA over at Sam Kelowna Boxing, 2600 West 35th in Chicago on the south side, touristy part of town.
And you got to get in where it's fun. I mean,
right.
I've been
Even Apex House of Grappling.
I teach it. We're some of the best gyms there in Philly, though.
Yeah. Apex House of Grappling, Chicago Muay Thai, Chicago MMA, Midwest Training Center. I even go by there. I'm going to be working with, trying to help a friend of mine, Daniel James. I'm the one who actually got Daniel James into MMA. And he's number 4 in the world for Bellator at heavyweight.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show him because after he knocks this next guy out, he's fighting at the Wintrust Arena in June. He'll probably be lined up to fight for the title. And he needs to learn his throws, not worrying about double legs against a former wrestler. So I try to give.
I gotta ask you, like, there's been a lot of rumors going around in the combat sports world that PFL apparently is trying to acquire Bellator MMA. Would you be a fan?
I've heard that.
Would you be a fan of them? Those two promotions kind of merging.
Oh my God, bruh. Then I mean, think about this. There should be how many? Okay, I'm gonna say why I'm in favor of it first. Because the merge of two organizations will make there a more clear, definitive world champion.
I agree.
There are 4 major organizations. There are 4 major organizations. ONE FC, Bellator, UFC, and I just forgot, just FS.
PFL.
But PFL, thank you. Oops, my bad. Now.
Well, they changed names multiple times over the past 10 years, so.
Bruh, I have world titles of 13 or 14 and count. I have 28 title belts of city, state, regional, national, and world. According to science, the Hollywood physicist, there is 8 planets, and one of which is our world. So why is there so many world champions?
Same reason why, and what you're talking about is the formula that has destroyed boxing for all intents and purposes.
How many goddamn? If I got 28 belts, I mean, hardly anybody ever really knew that because you see my fight record. And I'm like, no, because various promoters would not release the footage of my fight. I fought. Let me give you one. I fought in Germany. An MMA fight. I pulled off a Jesse Owens. I literally fought the branch chief, the head motherfucker in charge of MMA and karate in Germany, in his hometown, Peter Engerer. It was so epic that the grandmaster of our system from Tokyo, Japan, came to Germany to watch me, the American, fight the German. Doesn't that sound like World War II type shit?
Oh yeah,
Germany.
I mean, but that's what we do to what we call the passion part of combat sports. You know what I mean?
Right.
We do the cell fights to make it fun fights to get more people engaged, entertained, things of that nature.
Right. They make the epic us versus them thing.
Now, going into another point I want to ask you about, because you've kind of invented the persona in combat sports. We see what other fighters have done with it, a la, what Conor McGregor has done with it. Are you a fan of, like, the direction that promoting combat sports have gone into, or is it something you're not too happy with?
I'm saying this. If you are wanting butts in the seats to make a bigger paycheck, you do the necessary extra work. And the personification of what the marketable athlete is. There are certain names that you know because they marketed themselves. Michael Jordan was not Michael Jordan until we saw his damn shoes and scoring 55 points in a playoff game. You know who Walter Payton is. You know who Mike Tyson is. You know who Muhammad Ali was one of the first preeminent open his fucking mouth and say some shit to get you to remember his name. I am the greatest. The powers of authority. You tell everybody who you are. I identify as the greatest. I'm messing around with today's thought process of society. What did Conor McGregor do?
He was a two-belt champion who never really defended them more than once. So
right.
But
Anderson
his other
Silva
thing is how he got a nation involved in Ireland, and also how he did what he did early on in his career made his brand.
Exactly. Like, okay, real talk. I'm glad you brought it up with Ireland. I've been to Belfast, Ireland. I fought the first version coming of Conor McGregor. His name was Jess Loudon. Jess Loudmouth Loudon. In Belfast, where he's from, and I beat him in Ireland. He had been in the UFC. You heard nothing else subsequent.
Sometimes the flame gets extinguished fast in this sport.
Way there, like I said in my Hollywoods, I'm the next level. I'm the gatekeeper. Let's find out. I'm the evaluator. And
is
literally,
that something that's ever bothered you? That moniker's been thrown at you almost your entire career.
Either I was the underdog or the gatekeeper, the journeyman. And it's crazy because at one point I was winning title belts in a year, not a belt, title belts in a year, 5-6 belts. And on my record, it does an asterisk title fight, grappling tournaments, title fight at heavyweight, karate bare knuckle, Muay Thai, American kickboxing, judo, Greco-Roman. And I'm like, after a while, I'm just like, fuck it. Fuck you, pay me. The only business that I hated was that at the time of my preeminence, my most venomous time, I didn't have a manager, a career guidance counselor. A manager is whatever. Trainer is, I was trainer less.
The three things you just mentioned are all totally different entities.
Right, it is. And literally, I had a group of succubus people around me that would call me, Shonie, I got to fight for you. Basically, you're a shit starter. My guy can kick your guy's ass. I'm willing to bet you my guy kick your guy's ass. Sounds familiar? Instead of
listen, there's a lot of shyster managers in this sport.
Oh my God, I've been in company of them too. There's one motherfucker is in jail now. His name is Gary Clusty. He tried to rip off me and other fighters from telling promoters one thing. He would lower my pay to get 2-3 other guys on the fight card. One guy named was Bongo Humphreys, who was a fighter. Then I forgot the other guy, then me. Bongo didn't take the fight because I found Bongo when I did the reality show, The Iron Ring on BET. When I got into it with Floyd Mayweather. But never mind that. So I won the middleweight world title for Throwdown in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I negotiated the contract for myself. Gary got mad because I made $20,000. He's like, you owe me money. I'm like, fuck you. I negotiated. I'm going to come to Chicago and kick. I said,
you owe him money if you negotiated it.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck you. You tried to lower my price to get 2-3 other guys on the fight card so you can collect on all of us. And he ended up in jail for messing around with kids. Yeah, he even tried to he stole money from single mothers, and they called me because they found out about when I used to post my numbers on various websites, the MMA undergrounds and stuff. And it's crazy at the business management entity versus the trainer. Some people try to be trainer and managers. I'm not against it if you have the common sense logic to do it and the know-how.
Well, not just that. If you run a big fight camp, like it's hard. You get stretched in like
You do.
These things. Like if you got like more than five guys or a couple girls, whatever.
You're trying to make sure the guys are getting the reps in. They're doing it right.
Not an easy job.
No, when I work out at Midwest Training Center with Alex Trujillo as the owner coach, he's the corner guy, and I actually turned Daniel James over to him because he's 6'5", 275, and I'm 5'8", 200 pounds or 215. But I mean, there are people who can do really good jobs at coaching. There are people who do really good jobs at managing. Where in my era, I had a Tommy Rojas, Phyllis Lee, who was the mother of the 1-2-3 kid in the WWE. She was for shit. She literally came from a pro wrestling background. And my first UFC, I only made $1,000 on a 3-fight contract. I fought Brad Gum UFC 24 or 22. I made $1,000. UFC 28, I fought Adrian Serrano. I made 2-2, beating him. I made 4-4 with Matt Serra, which was $8,000, and I know he made more money losing than I did winning. And literally, after that, it was Nate Quarry with Tommy Rojas. He calls me 2 weeks before the card. No, Joe Silva directly called me and said, "I need you to do me a favor." I'm like, "You gonna give me a short notice fight?" And you couldn't say no to the matchmaker, the head matchmaker at that time. And
yeah, because you didn't want to get buried.
Right, because that essentially still happened. Because even after that, they had me fight Marcus Davis on a short notice. And I lost by decision. The only thing they did good for me, sort of, was repair my hand after I broke my hand in the fight. And literally...
And then right around that time is when the Ultimate Fighter also happened too, right?
Right. I showed up to the Ultimate Fighter auditions on a short notice. And I told us, I'm going to kick y'all ass out of shape. And I laugh about it because the most money I made was $14,800 on that reality show. $1,000 per week was a stipend. $5,000 on the first fight, $7,500 on the second fight. 12.5 plus 6 is 18.5. They didn't use me on the season finale. I'm not mad at them. I'm mad at me, and because a younger me should have tried to learn the business. But being an LLC, I tell fighters, you are stupid if you're not incorporated as an LLC.
Well, no, I mean, and you look at how much things changed. Like look at what
Man.
happened over this past year. Like, look at what Francis Ngannou did and what he was trying to negotiate
Right.
to get done. And then you go and look at what he got eventually with PFL. He almost essentially got that because he wanted his protection, but he also wanted to make sure his opponents were getting paid.
$2 million to fight him.
You can't ask for a better chance than that, right?
No, you can't. And like I said, I remember when Dana White flew into Chicago on a private jet, his jet, pulled up in front of Chicago Fitness Center and tried to talk to me and taking me to an interview. I have the interview on VHS tape, like my underground fights. And it was a very surreal moment for a young athlete, at that time, because you don't expect the promoter to come to you and talk to you about your career. I don't know if he knew how to talk to me or was he intimidated by me. I doubt. I had a chance to fight Johnny Knoxville on the talk show, and he wouldn't let me because he said, they don't know how dangerous you are. I'm like, I'm trying to get paid. Oh, Monty Cox, the former manager of Matt Hughes, Pat Miletich, Jens Pulver,
Yeah,
Robbie
he's
Waller.
probably one of the, I guess, probably the bigger the first generation managers, right?
Yeah, yeah. Didn't do that much for me because he was caring more about his Iowa guys more than me. But, looking back at it, now I'm working on a documentary and a talk show. I'm telling everybody the story because I have the journals from the Ultimate Fighter. Everything that went down, I wrote it. It was an episode when our team found out that I left my journal out by accident, and they thought I was trying to sabotage what we were doing. It was just a oops, my bad. But
I'm writing this for me, for my life. They ain't
right,
nothing to do with y'all. Relax.
right. Because I was thinking about I'm working on an autobiography. If anybody's out there that wants to help me get this book edited and published, I got a hell of a story. Whoa.
I mean, I love what I'm hearing out of you, brother. Your documentary, you want to get your own interviews, podcast going. That's awesome.
Let me leak a little bit to you. Are you ready?
Oh, let's do it.
The man that faced off, and you've seen it, we've all seen it, when he faced off versus Bruce Lee. The black guy, his name was Victor Moore. When they did that speed drill contest, it's old footage. I met Victor Moore. I know Victor Moore. I'm going to interview Victor Moore. Everybody that I interview on the show, I'm going to draw them and have it in the background because I went to art school before being Mr. International. I was Mr. Carson Newman College in Jefferson City, Tennessee. I was Mr. Triton Junior College, where I was an All-American wrestler. I was at Proviso East High School before I was at Triton College. U.S. Marine after high school. So all these years of drawing, I have the utmost respect for Justin McAllister and Evan Showman. I'm the MMA UFC level fighter, former world champion, who's drawing world champions. Manson Gibson, 11-time world champion in kickboxing, the Master Blaster, the Muay Thai killer, has 118 wins, 80 knockouts. I fought him twice. He was 45-0 on title defenses. The record is wrong. He's 45-1. I beat him when I fought him here in Chicago on an hour notice at the Bangkok Brawl, all strikes legal kickboxing match. So I've interviewed him. I drew him.
Now, where do you plan on doing this? Are you planning on opening your own website to launch the podcast? Or are you planning on?
I've met with this lady and I forget her last name. Well, my executive producer, his name is Joel Radwanski, and he's on the TV show Chicago PD. He's producing the show, and literally, I've met with TV station owners. This woman named Kristen, she's done over 300 documentaries. I'm meeting with this other guy named Danny Bonilla. He's in the TV industry. We're putting together the platform for the talk show. We're also going to do a podcast like this, and maybe I'll get you on.
Let's do it, dude. I love to talk. Listen, I'm a fool to talk about anything.
Yeah, and I'm
we
laughing.
We can talk about fight game. We can talk about the entertainment industry. We can talk about life.
Exactly.
I'm good, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, and the crazy part is that I'm laughing about this whole new thing with fighting and how our new world is. And I just go, wow, who left the damn gates open and the chain unleashed?
Yeah, because basically, we all have the ability to be our own entity, our own media company, etc.
Right. This is the ooh-wee, look at me generation.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, because I'm
If you would have
learning to
told
shoot
me
reels.
when I graduated high school, like these would be things we'd be able to do. We would create our own studios, be able to,
Right.
basically do away with radio stations. I'd have laughed at you, like, what? How are you going to do that?
You know, TV is on strike. The TV.
Oh yeah, I
rights-
love it. I love it. I mean, it sucks because I'm a big Marvel fan. I'm a big
Right.
geek.
What isn't one coming
a whole lot
out?
of movies, a whole lot of shows have been put on hold because of the writer strike. I've always been pro athlete, and I'll be pro writers here. You'll need to pay them dudes.
Right. Just like now, college athletes can get paid.
Love it. Absolutely love it. They need to give Reggie Bush back his damn Heisman.
Man. Who
Because
you
basically
telling?
what he was doing was trying to survive when he knew what his dollar was worth.
Right. And the college makes money. Why can't the athlete make money? The promoter makes money. The venue makes
hand
money.
over foot off of those boys, those girls who are student athletes.
Exactly.
So
Why do you think I was an art major in college?
that's why I can't wait for like when we see college football come back over the next few years. A lot of video game junkies used to love it, the NCAA football games. Now we're gonna be able to get these guys likenesses on NCAA football. They're gonna be able to get freaking paid for stuff like that and things of that nature.
Right.
That's what they should be doing.
You know, I never got paid for the UFC video game.
Man, here's another thing that bothers me. All right, not only do you guys not get taken care of for that, but like I'm like for argument's sake, let's say that I want to go send you a few cards or something. All I see is like a card is basically Matt Serra's card with him having you in a hold, and that's the Shonie Carter card. I'm like, wait, what?
They make them in Japan. It was crazy. There was this. Okay, you know, fans are nuts. Love them all. This one guy drove from Columbus, Ohio to Chicago to train with me. He spent more time driving than he did training. We did more talking than training. I showed some karate because I got one of my black belts in there. He pulled out the trading card of me in Japan.
There you go, bro.
And he ordered it off of Amazon or wherever he got it.
Yeah,
he brought two
I
of them.
always look for things like when I talk to you guys because I'm also doing stuff with card grading companies and things of that nature as well. So like I like to look into things like that. But there's also people who do custom things. Like you could probably have your own card made, like have a special one, like 10, 15 of them made up with things that you have signed, and they just turn it into like one of those like specialty cards.
Right, because he gave me one. I made him videotape me autographing the card. He had it, the card holder thing, little plastic see-through. I signed it while he filmed it on his iPhone, and I autographed mine, but I had my girlfriend film me autographing it. I have a stuff shelf. And literally, anything that I've accumulated is a souvenir from around the world. And she saw it at one point. People didn't know it. And I'm hunting these guys down. There were two websites that were selling T-shirts with my name on it. One guy had an energy drink with me on the can.
There you go, brother. Like, yo, you got to get an extra one of those. I need one of those for the show.
I'm going to try to hunt this guy down because I'm sure he sold some, but he gave me a small case of them. It was like the size of a Red Bull can. And literally, I've been telling the athletes, let's get this together because it's one thing to have your T-shirts, but you got to have energy drinks, training cards, and you can make money in your sleep. People can have it ordered, they can have them ordered as people pay. You can have them made as they pay to make, however they call it, as they pay. And
I got what you're saying. Like they make it as you pay for it. Yeah, I got what you're saying.
Right. And literally for years, people used to wonder what was Shonie up to. I was doing the craziest content, creating, collecting stuff, and putting it on the shelf. And now at the ripe old age of 51, they still will take a fight because Mark Coleman trying to fight Conor McGregor at 58.
You're just reading my mind there, brother, because I was literally just about to bring that up because I just came across that Mark Coleman's, one of the guys from the early days, just came out with this thing. He's apparently going to be doing some celebrity boxing. I heard it might be some slap boxing. Are you okay with the older athletes kind of still doing things like you just heard Tim Sylvia was in
I
it?
can do it. I know the slap. I'm not. I won't do. If you see me slap fighting, know that there's a 6-figure or a high 5-figure check.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
It's an
I
interesting time.
the other thing I worry about with Mark, he was a wrestler, and wrestlers can punch, but they can't box. And I will go on video record saying that as a former collegiate All-American, tried out for the '96 Olympics, 2 World Team member wrestler, Greco-Roman. I have been in the grill house, the hot box of boxing here in Chicago. I used to be a sparring partner with David Diaz. Who lost to Manny Pacquiao. Yes, I was at that level. I've worked with Mike Tyson. I've tried working with Floyd Mayweather Sr. Yes, I can box. If Mark can't do it, I will. I'll go on the undercard. My number is 312-978-0782. Shonie Carter at Yahoo.
Someone go give Damon Feldman Shonie's number. Get him on
Please.
one of them cards.
Give me because I'll do it.
I
But
got Dave's number. I'll give it to you.
Just text it after we do it. Listen,
Yeah, we good.
only thing I worry about Mark because we know of his previous struggles. He's Liver King certified and sober is cool and he's doing his thing.
Him
understands
and Matt Brown have been on that sober trip for a while. I'm glad that he had somebody like Matt around that actually gave a F about him outside of what his name was worth to him and cared about Mark enough to help him get out of that hole. Because if anyone tries to sit there and say Matt Brown wasn't a part of Coleman getting clean, you're a flat out liar. And Connor's out of control with sitting there calling him a freaking dopehead like this week. That was
don't disrespect people like that.
Man. What Matt accomplished. Anyone who's followed Matt Brown's career from Ultimate Fighter till now knows he beat heroin. He beat his addiction. He didn't let it rule his life. Obviously he fell off the horse. He let himself get caught up into that, like a lot of Americans have over the past 20 years. But not only that, he was able to pick himself out, get himself to a UFC level. Arguably one of the top guys in that welterweight division for the past 10 years, in my opinion. Regardless if he has a belt around his waist or not, that man deserves more than respect for pulling himself out.
Thank you. I do not make light of anybody's struggles. I go through crazy shit. My youngest daughter's mother makes it damn near impossible for me to see my youngest daughter. She's 5. And so that has been a lot on my mind walking into a cage. And when I hear the struggles of man, it is easy to poke fun when someone is falling. A lot of people will pat you on your back on your way up. They'll try to hold you up and buy you drinks and throw the legs open for you and do all that, all of the extra stuff for you. You stumble, people. Dave Chappelle said it. People love to see a hero fall. But one thing about it, as a combat sports athlete, who the hell is he to talk about somebody like that when he himself, I will go on record.
We all know he does.
Right. I won't even put it out there like what I know because I can see it. I'm a kid from the streets.
Yeah.
I know how he plays. I can see it. Slapping an old man, strong arming a cell phone from somebody, cheating on his wife. I get it. You're a slippery motherfucker. I get it. The underhanded dealings. I get it. I'm not belittling him for taking an oath in front of God and then breaking that rule. And whatever else he's done is what he's done. But do not belittle another person. We know the trash talk stuff goes on in MMA.
You could have said anything else. Anything. Like, I was more okay with the video we did afterwards where he says, guys want to see a dead body when he posts a video of Cowboy Cerrone stopping Matt. I was more fine with that.
Right.
But
Right.
when you go after someone who's been battling, I'm not good with that.
Don't do that.
You're better than that, first and foremost.
Right. And like I said,
But
when people talk crazy, whether it's they talk about Jake Paul or what's the other Paul boy name?
Logan.
Paul Bunyan.
It's Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Logan's the wrestler, Jake's the boxer. Jake's the guy that only wants to fight UFC welterweights when he's a damn cruiserweight boxer.
He wants to fight MMA fighters that only wrestle. And
well, Anderson wasn't a wrestler, but Anderson's, he's like gang.
Can I say something that's going to be controversial?
Oh, what's that, brother?
About that?
Go ahead.
That fight was thrown.
Ooh.
I hate to say this.
Oof.
Someone sent me footage, and it's buried. I hate that I had this new phone. I don't know how to transfer data very well.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm supposed to transfer carriers. I haven't done it yet because I don't want to give up my. My
okay, I'm gonna tell you. Remember the punch that dropped him? It never connected. And this
wouldn't be surprised.
Nerds are
when
real.
It gets thrown around like that, especially with what Jake's doing, I wouldn't be surprised, my friend.
No, it was bad because he actually, this particular individual, did a freeze frame segment. The punch never connected, and he illustrated to me Anderson's head never turned. I was like, son of a bitch.
Oh boy, you got to show me that, Shonie.
Oh my god!
But
for your fans, they know.
I know everything I messed up with the beginning with timing and everything. Want to
get
ready to wrap things up. As we get ready to do, I'm going to turn a little special spotlight over to you. Anyone you would like to thank, training partners, teammates, shoot at them social media sites, let everyone know where to follow the comings and goings of Shonie Carter. And we will be definitely going to be having you back on here again. So just going to play this quick video. Throw the floor over to you, my friend.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. Today, I'm going to tell you if you want to meet up with me, you can follow me on Shonie Carter Uninterrupted on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm trying to get the NFT stuff off. I want to thank the Midwest Training Center with Alex Trujillo, Michel Seco at Chicago MMA, Jimmy Glasgow at Chicago Muay Thai. My humble dojo is Chicago Fitness Center, 3131 North Lincoln, Apex House of Grappling, 51 East Plainfield Road. Tell them I sent you. 1546 North Halstead at Chicago MMA. All right, 3131 North Lincoln. Yeah, I want to thank all of you guys for over the years. Triton College with Harry McGinnis, Bill Cartwright, Charles Flowers at Proviso East High School. The streets are real. I have a talk show coming up, and it's going to be the International Combat Education Entertainment Channel with Joel Radwanski and myself. We'll be doing interviews with Kathy Long, Cynthia Rothrock, Dan Severn, Carlos Newton, Keith Hackney, going on and on. All right, so we're going to be doing a lot of comprehensive interviews. I'm going to be drawing the people that I interview as well, such as Manson Gibson and Montel Ice Griffin and everybody else. Sam Colonna Boxing, 2600 West 35th. I love you guys. All right, so Joe Goitia at Goitia's Martial Arts, Master Shin, and he's the founder of Bear Brand Geese. He's in Chicago, who's the best friend of Masayama, the founder of Kyokushin Karate. I want to thank all you guys. Thank you. And yeah, like I said, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can find out about my NFT drops on my art. I'm putting them out there on Instagram Reels. What else can I say? Dome arigato. And I'll be in Tokyo, Japan in September for a black belt promotion test.
Yeah, we definitely got to do this again, my friend. You know, I put you back on here. So much stuff. I had about like 3 or 4 more questions I wanted to ask you before we got.
No worries.
But,
and Sheldon Marr, love you guys. I've trained with so many people.
Appreciate the time. We definitely got to do this again. Best of luck with the new show, the podcast, the documentary, everything. Definitely want to hear about it and keep me in touch. I will send you Damien's number. Let's get you on Celebrity Boxing, brother.
Yeah, I can do it. Master Bob Shermer, Combat Doe. You got to go.
All right, Shonie. Appreciate the time. We will catch you on the rebound, my friend. All right, folks. That was Mr. International, Mr. Shonie Carter. Definitely a blast having him on. We definitely got to get him back on. So much stuff going on with him there. Going to switch gears quick real here. We're going to be talking with the BKFC featherweight contender. He's going to be challenging for that title next Friday evening. We're going to introduce him here real quick, my friends, and let's get started talking some knuckles.
Hey, my name is Louie Lopez. I'm 28 years old. I'm fighting out of Great Falls, Montana.
What is up, fam? Here we are, the 145 contender here, Mr. Louie Lopez. Louie, appreciate the time. I know you're very busy, man. Last little bit of training session going on tonight, right, my friend? You hear me, Lou? Louie.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay. All right, now we might be.
So, how's the training session tonight, brother? How hyped are you for this fight next week?
Oh man, we're good. Look at it. Hey, session last hard sparring session of the week. We, you know what I mean? Nothing but soaked shirts around here. You know what I mean? Working hard, keeping our eye on the prize. That's what it's about.
Weight's looking good, brother.
Yeah, we're good, man. We're only a few good pounds out. I'll only have to cut 4 or 5 pounds when it comes down to it.
There you go. 1 week away. The trash talk is starting to pick up a little bit more. How excited are you to get in there with Kai, man?
Oh man, I can't wait. It's gonna be an easy fight. I just saw his news. I just saw the news thing he did because they both did a newscast, like a local news channel. Like they came out. Fuck, he looks like shit, bro. He looks like shit. He looks like shit on the bag. He don't even know he's not even using the right terms when he's talking about boxing. He don't even have his hands wrapped correctly. He's got the shitty wraps. Like, I don't know what he's doing, man.
Hey, listen, I know that's your perspective. I'm sure, he's probably sitting there saying, he thinks he's having a great camp. We're all gonna find out what's gonna happen a week from today. For our betting degenerates, you have anything to tell them?
Oh man, if you got any kind of property, you got anything, and put it all up. Put it all up. Put your boat up. Put your whole house up on this one because it's gonna be it's gonna be a quick night. I don't look past nobody. I really don't. I take everyone really serious, but at the end of the day, there's levels to this game. There's levels and there's levels.
Especially
in BKFC, there's levels to this game, and that's what he's not going to be ready for is the higher level.
Now, we've definitely been talking about this. We just passed the 5-year anniversary. Dave Feldman has built a wonderful sport, so to speak. For all intents and purposes, he was kind of the first one that's kind of made it really big here in the United States. What not to look too far in the future, but what do you hope happens in the next few years with BKFC? Do you hope to start seeing more defined rankings? Do you want to see how would you like to see the sport grow?
Oh man, they're right on track in my opinion, man. Everything's going just great. If it was up to me, if it was really up to me, I'd make it a 10-round fight every time. But maybe they'll work their way up to that because they're already putting in our contracts that if there's a round 6, that we'll have to go around 6. So that's already in our contract being said. So
yeah,
but
what I'm saying is when we look at boxing, when we look at the UFC, it's not really who's the best in the world at that weight. It's always what makes sense money wise. What's the fun fight to make, things of that nature. We don't really know who the number one in the world is at X, Y, Z. You know, we always like to throw away, oh, this person's the GOAT or this person's the GOAT. I can't do that in combat sports because there's so many different weight classes. There's men's divisions, there's women's divisions.
Right.
There's so much that happen in combat sports. I don't like to throw that moniker out there. But I would like to know who's really the number one in the world at this. But I think bare knuckle is in a position where you don't have 500 promotions all over the world.
Right.
Right.
There's only a few.
The sport's only a few years old. You really only got a handful of promotions or so. Would you like to see in a few years after we develop it a little more? Would like to see go back to the old UFC Pride stuff and start seeing some tournaments between the two big promotions in the world, right?
Yeah, that'd be real cool.
I've been saying this at every interview almost a year now. I'm gonna keep going at it. Hopefully we can get Mr. Vasquez and Mr. Feldman on the page at some point in time in the next few years and get something like that happen.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I'll tell you that. Gosh, yeah, that's the good one. That's the good stuff there. That's where the money's at. That's what people want to see. It's true drama and rivalries.
Getting my few minute warning from our producers in the back. After we're gonna be on here with Mr. Lopez, we got our TSS fantasy show going and breaking down the NFL season coming up. Are you a big football fan, man? Are you excited for this upcoming NFL season?
Honestly, I used to be a baseball fan. I used to play professionally, dabbled in baseball playing professionally, but I don't follow football. No, I don't.
All right, well, it's baseball season. You got to feel in the season. You got to take on what's going to be who might come.
Man, my Padres are I'm from San Diego. Naturally. So I was born in Montana, but I grew up in San Diego. I grew up there from 1 till I was.
Oh man, so I guess you're not really happy with my Phillies, are you?
No, not at all, man. You're a Phillies fan? Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm a Philly guy, man. Come on, you see the flyer stuff in the background. I got stuff over here.
Man, no, I've been to Petco Park plenty of times. I actually been to Qualcomm stadiums a few times when I was real young. They used to call it Jack Murphy Stadium.
Yeah, Jack Murphy. Yeah,
it is.
That's where Tony Gwynn, made his career.
I've seen him. Yeah, I've seen him, man. He was. I remember when he hit his 3,000th hit. That was crazy. I was young.
Like we talk about that stuff in baseball. Like, what do you think is the milestone in combat sports? Is it the multiple division champion? Is that kind of the moniker now?
Multiple promotion champion. How's that? They're not. You don't see a lot of BKFC guys going over to UFC, but we're going to change that right after I snag this title. So obviously you do come from the MMA background. So after you grind your teeth a little bit, maybe give them a chance to build that division up after you capture the crown. You do want to try to start talking
get his attention.
Yeah, exactly. Then we'll start talking numbers because my skills. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited for this matchup. But I've been a big fan of Dave since he was promoting here in Philadelphia, doing XFE. He was talking about it. I love what Dave has done so far. Do you enjoy them bringing in some of the stars from the other promotions?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a great idea. Really, I really do think they have something good going on there. I really think that we need to capitalize on that and take bigger numbers from bigger names, us little guys, and capture the opportunities and fight bigger names from all these guys. Want to talk about how they're not getting paid enough, this, that, but they got 3 fights in the BKFC. These guys are coming off of 25 plus 30 years, almost 25 fights plus in the UFC. And you're complaining about the money they're getting. They've already gotten brain damage, brother. They're deserving the money they're getting because of what they've done before. There's a reason for, there's a reason for everything, and there's a system for everything. So I think it's just the correct opportunities, calling out the correct names, getting the correct fights is going to get you the correct numbers.
I look forward to it. I hope we see a lot more guys come over. I hope they give guys like you more opportunities. Like say you win the belt, would you call out someone like Chad Mendez, Eddie Alvarez, someone like that?
Yeah. We have a little bit in store. So
listen. I know I don't want to dip too much into what could be going on with you, but I have to ask one more before we wrap it up and give it over to our TSS fantasy guys. Fight predictions for this weekend, and what do you want to see a person get brought in from some of these other promotions to potentially challenge you or to make the promotion better?
Oh man, prediction first off is second round TKO, second round knockout. First round he'll put up a little bit of fight. He'll see it in the second round. He'll fade away because as the fight goes on, I progress punches and I progress my rhythm and everything like that. So, as far as the other question goes, I've been hearing a lot of different names. Nothing that really too excites me that I just want to stay focused on. There is a few names that, Howard Davis wants, I heard him been talking. He wants his fair rematch, which is okay. I'm more than happy to give him his work again. I've been hearing a lot about a Seth Schaefer too that I've been hearing about. I've been hearing some names about him. So we'll just see what happens. We'll see what the numbers look like. We'll see what the BKFC wants to do after.
Just left the other promotion, so I'm pretty sure that
yeah,
there's a fight that I know some people on both sides here, obviously. So always try to stay neutral, but that's a fucking fun fight, man.
yeah. Let's see it, man. Let's see it.
All right. How we wrap things up on the end, I think you just kind of seen what I did with Shonie. We throw the proverbial microphone over you, play a quick little video. Anything you want to say, let the people know where to follow you, where to keep up what's going on in your career. Anything you're doing outside the cage you want to let the people know about. The time is yours, my friend. Let's get it going, guys.
You see that? That's hard work. That's dedication. I just want to thank everyone who supports me. I want to thank everyone who has been with me through the whole journey. Also, I want to thank everyone who doesn't support me. The people that don't support me, I thank you more. It's the people that don't support you that makes you push through your adversity. It's the people that don't support you that make you want to do better every single day, that make you want to just let me have the last laugh in the end. So, come June 9th, Friday, when I knock Kai Stewart out, I'm doing it for all the recovering addicts, all the professional athletes, whether it be baseball. Everybody's going to stand up because adversity is everything. Without struggle, there will be no success. Thank you again. Thanks for having me.
It is always our pleasure to give you guys a platform. Really looking forward to the fight, Louie. Everyone, make sure you guys are tuning in next weekend. BKFC. This man says he's going to be the next 145-pound champion, and he's going to start making everyone pay attention. Looking forward to the fight, Louie. Appreciate the time tonight, my friend. Best of skill in the fight and the upcoming fights. We're definitely going to have you on here again in the future. Have fun, my friend. All right, thank you everyone for tuning in. I'll be back here next week, same time, same channel here at the Fantasy Sports Network. Stay tuned. The TSS Fantasy guys talking some football. Make sure you guys are showing them some love and keep it on. I'll see you guys next week. Peace out, my friends.